I think there's a natural jealousy and dislike that they have had toward Robyn. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Long after they broke up, Christine Brown is still being haunted by Kody Brown, even though Christine and Kody split up a long time ago. It appears that the sister wives actress can't seem to get him off her mind. Christine revealed that she frequently has dreams about her ex-husband in Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 20, which aired on February 2nd, 2025. Christine revealed that she occasionally wakes up in a panic because the stress from her previous relationship causes her to have nightmares while flying to Arizona from the home of her ex-sister wife Janelle Brown in North Carolina. Christine is startled awake in a fright and searches for her husband David Woolley, who she married in 2023, after seeing glimpses of living with Kody in their former home. In her dreams, shortly after her 27 spiritual marriage to Kody ended, she started having dreams in the following comments. The reality TV star, who is happy in the here and now, stated that she has no plans to look back. I don't want to go back in time. Would you do it all over again? People ask that I'm saying I'm just moving on, so I'm not going to answer that question. With the aid of the plot a location where people going through significant life changes go to leave an old emblem of their lives before leaving. Janelle and Christine have both made the decision to move on with their lives. Christine carried a dream catcher that she had purchased while she was still living in Flagstaff with her entire family. The dream catcher represents letting go of both the dream she had about polygamy and the trauma she experienced during her time in Flagstaff. Kody Brown believes that his approach to polygamy was a critical error. In the same episode that Christine is coming to terms with her history, Kody reflects on the mistakes he made in his attempt to have a polygamous relationship when discussing how he would plan his evenings with Mary Brown. Janelle, Christine and Robyn Brown, the patriarch, acknowledged that he was flying by the seat of his pants for the most part of the relationship. Kody also talked on how he had observed more orderly and adaptable polygamous homes, as well as inflexible ones that lacked any flexibility at all. Kody believes his relationship with his ex-wives may have suffered as a result of his overly accommodating approach. Indeed, it appeared that he had made the proper choice because all three of his ex-wives agreed. Although Janelle acknowledged that Kody was fair with his time, the ex-sister wives thought it was chaotic and somewhat disrespectful that he didn't know who he would spend the night with. Sister Wives Season 19 is available right now on the 1-year anniversary of Robert Garrison Brown's passing. Sister wife star Christine Brown shared her sadness while pointedly recalling Janelle and Kody Brown's late son. I discovered a video of Garrison assisting me with moving, and I watched it numerous times in an Instagram post on Wednesday, March 5th. Christine, 52, wrote, every picture, video, memory, joke, and story that has him in it is infinitely more precious than ever. My heart aches without him. Gosh, I miss him, she continued. It's unbelievable to me that he passed away a year ago. One of the pictures in Christine's carousel of images was of Garrison at her wedding to David Woolley in October 2023. Another photo shows her visiting Garrison while he was in the Army National Guard, grinning and bursting out of the top of a tank. At the age of 25, Garrison killed himself on March 5th, 2024, according to In Touch. At the time, his younger brother, Gabriel Brown, discovered his sibling's death in his Flagstaff, Arizona home with a gunshot wound that he had self-inflicted. Janelle, 55, Garrison's mother, had been worried about her son Kody, 56, after he sent her concerning SMS the night before his death was discovered in a joint Instagram announcement on March 5, 2024. The ex-couple, who parted ways in December 2022, revealed the passing of their son Kody, and I regret to inform You of the passing of our lovely son. Robert Garrison Brown, the couple said. For everyone who knew him, he was a source of joy. We shall be left speechless by the void his passing will create in our lives. We kindly ask that you respect our privacy and join us in paying tribute to him on the 1-year anniversary of Garrison's passing. Janelle talked about her sadness and urged supporters to donate to animal shelters and rescue groups, which were causes that were dear to her son. Thanks to Instagram Garrison Brown. Even though I have a hectic life, you are always at the forefront of my mind. In any quiet moment, on Wednesday, March 5th, Janelle shared a picture of Garrison holding one of his Instagram with the caption, "It's been a year, baby. You are sorely missed, I urge everyone who reads this to think about donating to your local animal shelter, rescue, or humane society," she continued. Garrison adopted all 3 of his cats from shelters, so he was passionate about this topic. Janelle also included a suicide hotline number in her article. One of Janelle and Kody's 6 children was Garrison at the time of his death. He was no longer close to his father, with her daughter Maddie Brush née Brown and son-in-law Caleb Brush. Janelle is now residing in North Carolina and working diligently to establish her flower farm Tea Farms. She recalled how she acquired the 2012 Toyota Tundra in an Instagram post on February 3rd, and said she inherited Garrison's truck, which she intends to use for her business. I drove this ancient vehicle across the nation after hanging out with the kids in Vegas. For a few days, she captured video of the pickup truck and some of her road trip experiences, saying this is the truck Garrison bought when he moved to Flagstaff. It belonged to Gabe after he drove it till February 2022. In order to make more sense in Vegas, Gabe has switched to a smaller vehicle. The issue of what to do with the truck now arises. It's paid for, and I value it more on our new farm than I could earn from a trade-in. Additionally, it strengthens my bonds with my 2 boys, particular L. Garrison relics of an earlier existence might persist in surprising ways even after breaking off connections with it. For someone who has experienced a significant change, like ending a difficult and emotionally draining relationship, the remnants of the past may still show up in strange ways. Christine has started a new chapter in her life, one that is full of self-discovery, independence, and love. Even though she makes every attempt to put the past behind her, it still manages to resurface, sometimes in the shape of upsetting dreams that leave her feeling completely shaken, a troubled heart, a restless mind. On a recent road trip to Arizona, Christine talked candidly about a very sad and intimate incident. She thought about how, in spite of her conscious attempts to go onward, her subconscious mind would not let go when she left one spot to travel toward another, in addition to existing in her conscious mind. The memories of her former life also infiltrate her dreams in a manner that seems just as genuine as her current way of living. Sometimes she wakes up feeling anxious, her heart pounding, the weight of a life she no longer leads weighing down on her like a burden. She shook her head in exasperation and said, "I still see myself there when I wake up. I briefly believe I'm still imprisoned. My heart is racing, and I'm searching for a reality that doesn't exist by gazing around for the walls I left behind." Every time she has one of these dreams, she becomes terrified. She bolts upright in bed as she remembers the sound of a house full of voices. She no longer hears the vivid memories of an old home and the sense of suffocation that previously characterized her life. Reality only comes back to her when she reaches out and senses the reassuring presence of the person she now lives with. In those instances, she tells herself, "It's not real. I no longer live that life." However, despite her self-assurance, the dreams continue to shake her. Letting go of the stress of the past, Christine made The decision to take part in a symbolic ceremony designed to assist people in letting go of their emotional burdens. In an attempt to permanently cut these remaining ties, she reached a place created for people looking for closure. An open area where people congregate to leave behind a symbol of their previous hardships. Christine chose a dream catcher she had previously bought while in Flagstaff for her offering. She had been optimistic at the moment, seeing the possibility of a life that would ultimately diverge greatly from her initial expectations. As she held the dream catcher in her hands, she reflected on what it had once stood for. The dream she had created, the optimism she had held on to, and the idea of a shared existence that ultimately turned out to be an illusion. After setting the dream catcher in its proper location, she muttered, "This is my last farewell. I'm done waiting." She inhaled deeply as her words were carried by the wind into the wide open area. As much for herself as for the energy she no longer desired in her life. This was a step forward, a statement that she was no longer constrained by a history that had already set her free, but she was aware that the path to full recovery was still underway. Thoughts on a life experienced. The person Christine left behind must face the decisions that brought him to his current situation, while Christine makes a conscious effort to move on from the past. He used to be the head of a household with several partners and kids, but now he finds himself thinking back on what went wrong. Perhaps he had known for a long time that the building was unstable, but the foundation fissures were neither unexpected nor abrupt. He said in a moment of openness that he had not tackled as shared existence with several partners in the best possible way. He admitted, "I didn't have a system. I believe that adaptability was the best course of action, and that everyone would be satisfied if we just went with the flow. However, in hindsight, I can see how it could have become worse." He had witnessed others in comparable situations adopted different strategy. Some were inflexible, following rigorous routines and regulations, while others had managed to strike a balance between structure and flexibility. But his own approach had frequently left people perplexed, irritated, and bitter. Even though he took pride in his fairness, at times hindsight has a way of bringing to light things that were previously missed. There were times when the individuals in his life felt unclear, invisible, or even unimportant, because there were no clear expectations. "Perhaps I didn't do enough," he acknowledged. "Perhaps I ought to have approached the situation differently." An intersection of viewpoints. Those who had previously shared his life were aware of the realization. Now those who had left, each seeking their own form of happiness, could look back with greater clarity. It was acknowledged that he had occasionally made an effort to be equitable with his time and effort. But even with the best of intentions, there was a sense of unpredictability that had been exacerbated by the lack of structure. Some people wanted to examine, break down, and talk about the past. For others, however, it was a chapter that was closed and no longer required re-examination. "I don't have to keep looking back," Christine said resolutely. "I honestly don't want to consider answering the question when people ask if I would do it all over again. I've moved on from the past. My attention is on the future." She clarified that although contemplation has its place, it is useless to linger on the past. She has the power to influence the future, and she plans to fully embrace it without worrying about the past. Purposefully moving forward, Christine brings the knowledge she has gathered from experience with her. As she embarks on this new chapter in her life, she can now control how much room the past takes up in her present, even though it may still come to her in unexpected ways through healing symbolic actions and the deliberate choice to go forward. She is creating a path that is characterized by what is ahead rather than by what she left behind. Christine's journey serves as a reminder that true freedom comes from totally releasing, not merely leaving. For those who are bound between the past and the future, the nightmares that formerly plagued her will eventually disappear as she continues to wake up to a life She has chosen for herself to be replaced by visions of a future that is wholly her own time, may keep moving forward steadily but mourning. Doesn't go in a straight line for those who are left behind. Some losses never truly go away, they reappear in peaceful times and cherished memories. And in the sounds of laughter that once filled a house. Time doesn't take away the grief of a family dealing with an unfathomable loss. Rather, it serves as evidence of their unwavering love for the person they lost. The pain is still very much present as another year goes by. But so is the will to remember a life that illuminated so many lives of families. Loss a mother suffering, a mother to comfort in the recollections of her cherished son on a day filled with profound sadness and reflection. She relived moments that seemed commonplace at the time but now had an incalculable weight as she looked through old photos and treasure recordings. She said, "I must have watched 100 times the video of him, helping me move with the intensity of a loss that never really goes away. Every picture, every joke with him in it is more precious than ever. I miss him more than I can even put into words." She kept scrolling through her memory collection when one picture caught her attention, a moment from a memorable day, a happy occasion that was made even more poignant by his presence. It was a celebration of fresh starts and love. But it now had a somber undertone. The disbelief was as intense as it had been on the first day, and the fact that he was gone weighed her down like a burden. She said, "I can't believe it's been this long." Taking action to honor a legacy, the greatest way to preserve his memory for those who knew and loved him was to behave in ways that demonstrated the compassion and kindness he held in his heart, rather than only speaking about it. He had always loved animals, and he felt a particular connection to rescued animals that tapped into his loving nature in an effort to transform her sorrow into something worthwhile. His mother inspired others to follow suit. "I want to honor him in a way that truly represents who he was," she said. "If you're looking for a way to remember him, please consider supporting an animal rescue organization that was something that meant so much to him." She shared a touching picture of him with one of his cherished rescue animals, a friend he had previously rescued who, but also in many ways, saved him, writing, "I miss you every day. In every quiet moment, you're always the first thing on my mind. It's been a long time, but it still feels like yesterday, taking a bit of him with me into the future. Even when the heart wants to dwell in the past, life has a way of going on. Some people take comfort in reliving past memories, while others find comfort in preserving a part of the person they lost." A vehicle was a straightforward but profoundly meaningful method to accomplish it. More than simply a car, it served as a physical memory of the person who had driven it before, of the road trips that had been taken, and of a life filled with desire and independence. Her words, "This truck has a history. It was his first big purchase when he moved to a new city. He drove it for years, and then it passed on to his brother. Now it's with me, and every time I get behind the wheel, I feel like he's right there with me." The truck has since discovered a new use and is now a crucial component of an expanding company. Although it might have a useful purpose, its real worth is in the bond it creates, a link between the past and the present, a means of keeping his soul near. It's more than just a car, it's a part of him, she thought, and that means more to me than anything else. A love that is timeless. Grief is a journey without a definitive end or conclusion. It permeates every aspect of daily life and manifests itself in unexpected ways, such as when your favorite music comes on the radio, you see a location you've been to together, where you hear a loved one's laugh that brings back memories of the person who is no longer with you. However, grief is accompanied by recollection, and love follows remembrance. Instead of diminishing with time, this love evolves, finding new ways to be appreciated and communicated. Those closest to him decided to focus on the effects of his presence rather than just the of his absence, as this day of memory progressed. The things that made him who He was his generosity, his laughter, his passions would endure in the hearts of those who remember him. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily. See you soon.